Solitude is probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Do I feel lonely? Never. When I first came out here, I wanted my solitude so much that I hardly talked to anybody. In fact, something happened with my phone service, so my phone wasn't even working for 7 months before I realized that my phone service wasn't working. And that's because I was thriving so much on solitude. Okay, so I'm sweaty and messy right now. I didn't even do my makeup for this video. And the other day someone commented, yeah, why don't you look like you're ever sweating in all that heat? And I think mostly because I got air conditioning and I bust ass first thing in the morning, and by the time the sun's really out, I'm already comfortable in the cabin relaxing. But today, well, the first thing I did this morning was I changed my transmission gasket and all the fluid and the filter, and I thought I was good to go, so I headed out. And on the way to town, I heard this ping sound, and I didn't think it could possibly be related to me. But as I pulled into town, I heard kind of a weird issue, and I came and checked, and look at this, the bolt is missing from my caliper. It wasn't too long ago that I was cruising to a different town, and all the lugs sheared off of this wheel here, and I took the truck into the shop, and they were really nice and fixed it up for me pretty well on the spot. But I guess something happened to the fact where that bottom bolt didn't get tightened all the way, and it just fell off today. I've never experienced that. But there's no mechanic between there and here, and so I just hobbled along real carefully. And since I couldn't really use the van brakes, I was riding low gears, and I was using the brakes on my trailer. I rebuilt this trailer, put a new axle on both sides here and new suspension back here. I didn't put new suspension up here, and riding the trailer brakes made this axle twist funny, and the spacer popped out. So I wound up having to just kind of strap this axle up and hobble along. See, I just strapped that side up, and that's how I hobbled along until I got home. Anyway, part of solitude, being all alone, solo off-grid, is taking care of your own shit when you have to. And that's probably one of the parts that a lot of people wouldn't enjoy is, if something breaks, you're on your own, you gotta fix it. And thankfully, I've got 2 toolboxes and all kinds of stuff out there. And the truth is I'm pretty confident in my ability these days. So as I was working on that, I almost thought it was fun, Hey, can I get out of this? Hey, the caliper's messed up. Can I get out of this? Oh no, the trailer axle's messed up. Can I get out of this in the middle of nowhere? So there's that side of it, but a lot of people are really focused on, are you lonely? And I think that's because they're lonely. So oftentimes if someone's like, you're going to be lonely if you do that, or you're not going to be able to succeed at that, or they're telling you what you can or can't do, it's usually a reflection of themselves. And so I get a lot of comments about if I'm lonely, or I'm going to be lonely, or I need to find a woman, or I need to get married, and things I need to do. And that's why I'm making this video. Is from the time I was 5 years old, I would pull myself away from the family, and I would find myself building little forts in these cardboard boxes and getting away and finding solitude and quiet and peace. And I always loved that, and I soaked it up. And really, we can't do that much growing up in the city. And so here, for 30 years I'm growing up in the city and working for other people and slaving away in the 9-to-5, the rat race and all that crap. And I finally buy a piece of land, move off grid, and even though it's only in my camper van with a few items and nothing else really, I just saturated myself in solitude. And you'll know if you're going to thrive in solitude. It's not for everybody. But if you can go out into the peace and quiet and not even have phone service and just sit back and not even think about it for months at a time, what happens is you're able to think and process and focus on yourself. And then you start to realize things about yourself that you could improve. And then you improve those things. And then Suddenly you've lost 160 pounds of fat. Suddenly you're not addicted to alcohol. Suddenly you're not, critical of everybody else. Who cares what anyone else is doing? Focus the criticism inside on yourself and improve yourself and get more physically fit and eat better and treat people better and treat yourself better. I'm telling you, for those that solitude itches that scratch, you're going to love it. And that's probably why you see, there's a lot of solo van lifers, solo off-gridders, solo overlanders, because there are a select amount of people that will absolutely, wholeheartedly thrive on solitude. And then for everybody else, well, you don't have to go off-grid alone. You can bring somebody with you or your family or whatnot. And that's not to say that I do have a community. I surround myself with some people that are rock solid people I can count on, people that aren't going to talk shit. I don't want to be locker room bantering with kids the rest of my life, bitch this and bitch that, I don't want to live like that. I don't have to live like that. I am totally happy by myself. And so, unless somebody adds something valuable to my life, I don't need to have them in my life. And that's okay. To each their own. And solitude might just be exactly what you need. Are you telling me we got some breakouts? Are you guys broke out? Oh my gosh. I better go get some water and some food for you little animals. You guys might want to come into the cabin, huh? Boy, look at all those eyeballs. You guys are awake? These guys were born on the 4th of July. It's almost been a month. And they're finally moving around, so I think I'll get some water. Bring some water over to them and some treats. This is the first time they come out. Their mom moved them in there, and I've been waiting. They're out and about now. This is their cat house. Pretty good spot, really, inside there for them. Hi, Mama. You did a good job.